so people should be able to hear us. We are now live. I'm hoping people can hear us. Yeah, I'm hoping that everyone can hear us and give it a few minutes, see if anyone joins. We've got Insta. Thanks Insta for the lurk. See if anybody else comes on, and then we can start with our conversation. Here's a sexy man himself.
Oh look, I've even got a nice little. Can you see them?
Nice Lego hat, Batman feature.
With little jokers on it, mate.
I just want to make sure that people can hear us. I'm just going to check the stream. Just speak for a minute, Rick.
Yes, people.
Speak for a minute, Rick.
Yes, people.
Right, yep, that's working. Cool. That's what I need to know. That's fine. Right. Give it another minute, and if not, we'll just start, Rick, and start our bit.
Good with me, brother.
And then we'll go from there. Hang on, I need to change. And this, need to change that. Broadcast is not that. It's just change and done. There we go. That'll change that title, which is good. Right, so I guess people will come. People, if not, we'll see what happens throughout the thing. But we'll begin on it. So gonna look at. You pair of ugly twats, pagan. Allow it. Allow. So welcome, pagan. Welcome to the Magic Talk Sport chat show with me and Rick. Today we've got a little bit to cover off. We've got just a quick run through of what happened at the weekend with the top three and basically a quick look at how the relegation battle looks. We're going to talk about the Champions League fuck up this midweek with the redraw. What do people think? What are your opinions? Have your team got screwed from the second draw? Are you happy what's happened with the second draw? We will look at another news around football. So it will be, looking one of the topics up for discussion will be Abel getting stripped of his captaincy. Arsenal supporters, if you're about, come in, give us your opinion. Let us know what you think. Rick's an Arsenal supporter, he'll give his opinion, but I'm sure everyone will have a differing opinion on that. And what's happening. So it'll be good to see what's there. And we'll have a just quick look at today's this midweek, which I didn't realise, midweek fixtures that we've got coming up, which are some today, some tomorrow, and some on Thursday. We'll have a quick browse through them as well. So the Christmas period kicking off, and we obviously started off at the weekend, looking at the big three, all won by penalties. So if you look at the top three with City, Chelsea, and Liverpool, and I'm a Liverpool fan, they all won by a goal, and it was a penalty. I guess I'm going to start off with my opinion. I thought they were all very soft penalties. I think they were soft. You might disagree with me. I think Chelsea's first one was a penalty, but I think the other three, including my boys Liverpool, I think they were soft penalties. What do you reckon, Rick?
Which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with City. Let's start with my boys. Let's start.
So let's So, what did you think about City's penalty?
Don't get me wrong, VAR's there for a reason. I get that, 100% get that. And don't get me wrong, is it a penalty? It's one of those. I don't know whether it gets given every single time in every match. I think if you're a Watford and a Burnley, is that given? I don't know. Is it because it's City? It's given. I just think it's a bit soft. I'm not saying it's not a penalty. All I'm saying is it's a soft penalty.
In my eyes, City was probably my second most definite penalty. Out of all of them at the weekend, City sits in second closest to, I would have given that. If I was an official, or even if I'm a defender by trade, so I know if I'd stuck in that tackle, I'm running that risk. And now every player knows VAR is a part of the game. So there is no getting away with stuff now. And that's what these players have, I think, realised all of last season. Yes, VAR is still kind of a joke, but it's still better than what it was last season. I'm just pointing that out. But
well, I've got a different.
City was probably up there with I would have given that.
Okay, so I'll go back to your VAR comment. So I've got a differing opinion from Pagan, who reckons VAR is ruining the game by getting involved in the fouls. It should be used as goal line tech. Now, before I let you go on that, Rick, I'm just going to say, Pagan, goal line tech's there with obviously the watches that tell the ref that ball crosses the line. So we've already got that part of it. Are you saying you wouldn't want VAR in the game at all? That's the question I'm asking to you, Pagan. Do you not want VAR in the game at all then? Is that what you're saying? Take VAR out? Go on, Rick. What's your...
I didn't actually say my opinion on VAR. Right. But the fact is the fact. So when you're going to deep it, real talk, like, VAR isn't going anywhere. That's what we've got to accept. VAR is not going anywhere. So stop moaning about it. But have your banter, have your comments, have your opinions, because what is the difference between what it used to be? We used to just cuss off a referee once a week. There is no difference. Now you're not just cussing off a referee, you get to cuss off two referees. But the fact is VAR is not going anywhere, bro. So either way, like it or lump it, really. But my opinion, I agree with Pagan. VAR has just managed to make football more complicated than it's ever been.
For me, it interrupts the flow of the game, especially when you score a goal. You don't know if you're getting the goal or not.
Yeah. You don't know whether you want to celebrate, but the one that bothers me, the only VAR that's truly bothered me and still bothers me is this toenail, shirt, ruffle, offsides.
Yep, agree with you.
That's where I don't like it, and that's the second one I would probably say that literally probably pisses me off the most, if I'm going to be honest, is that you score a goal and now you're waiting to find out whether anyone was offside during the whole build-up to it. Was there any foul in the process? And then you get to celebrate. But then it's like, I take you back to Arsenal game the other week. The challenge on Lacazette was 10 seconds before the ref blew his whistle. VAR then said to the ref, who was already in the tunnel, you need to have a look at that, and brought all the players back out just so Arsenal could take the penalty. Sorry.
Fair point. So City, you're saying in your eyes was your second. So go to the Chelsea game. They had two penalties this week. First one I thought was a pen.
Leeds penalty is the only one that I said bang to rights. That's a pen.
Right.
Leeds is my first one. He shouldn't have been making a tackle like that. We all know how fast James is. And he clattered him. Straight penalty. I have no qualms in that one.
And Chelsea's first? I reckon that was a pen. My opinion, I reckon that's a pen.
Like the City one, it's probably like you say, they're given, they're not given. There is no consistency in them type of ones. Yes, to me, it's a foul. If it's in the box, it's a penalty. So, yeah, the first one, like you said, yeah, it is a penalty. Yeah.
Okay, so the question I'm going to put to you is this. So basically, my opinion and my thoughts is that that if that was, say, Watford versus Burnley, will that penalty be given? Has it been given because of who the club are and where they are? Cheers, Pagan.
VAR came through for them.
See, I don't think it's given if they're playing each other. I'm not going to say the Chelsea one. I'm going to say more the City one. I don't think that's given. Sorry, I'm catching you off the hook here, but it's a question I've got to ask.
Thing is, I think when it comes to VAR, you concentrate more on the decisions that go against your team.
Yep.
So I've seen decisions. We played Burnley last year, and we were drawing 1-1 on the 87th minute. Callum Chambers smashes a ball home. In the process of volleying this ball into the net, one of the Burnley players tried to make a tackle and fell over. The referee gave it as a foul for Burnley. So does it always go in our favour? No. But more to the point, does it go in anyone's?
Fair point.
How many Liverpool decisions have you felt that have gone, get out of it?
Yeah, and one always comes to mind with the Mane thing against Everton. It was like, you're right, not being funny, like you're saying, toenails and a little bit of shirt sticking out. That was the most ridiculous decision that I've seen. Like one of the most. There's been a few more like that, but one of the most ridiculous I've seen given as an offside. That is just ridiculous. That is stupid.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's the one that gets at my. Literally, that makes me angry every time. And I'm having to wait 5 minutes for you to draw lines across a pitch, and then you go goal or no goal. You've just taken everything that football stood for out of it, for the fans, and that's where we all share that common goal. We all know football is only football because of fans. So why is it always the fans that are left the ones to suffer?
Damn. Thank you, Nutty, for the raid of 5. Welcome everyone from Nutty's chat. Appreciate it. Thank you, Nutty. Nutty, if you want to join in the debate, you're more than welcome to join the call. We've just literally spoke about VAR and some of the decisions this weekend on the penalties in the Chelsea and City game. So that's what we've literally just finishing off on. And, is VAR working? We've had an opinion from Pagan. He thought the VAR ruined the game and need to use goal line tech, but we already have goal line tech. So I'll be saying we don't want VAR. And obviously Rick's already said, and which I agree with, VAR's here to stay. We were moaning when the referees were making decisions. VAR's come in. Now we're just moaning twice because we've got 2 referees to moan at. So, with decisions that we get. And obviously VAR's still not 100%. We've got stupid offside decisions coming with toenails and shirts hanging out. But, it is what it is right now. And we've got to like it. Like Rick said, got to like it and lump it. There's nothing we can do about it. So, Rick, going to the Liverpool game. My boys. Penalty.
You can start with this unless you just want me to get my bit out of the way. Just all I'm going to say is you boys just look like lackluster. Like, I'm not going to lie. It looks like you've played like 50 games already this season.
Okay, so
I thought you were trying to find a groove, but I feel like you're struggling a lot more than we thought. Well, any fan, if you're going to deep it, real talk, like, that's how I felt. Like now, Man City's picking up points. It starts to kick off that rivalry.
So what I will say to you is this. So I'm going to keep going back, and you're going to hate me keep saying this, but I'm going to keep going back to the argument we had on our first show, on our first one that we did. We're playing the same 11 because we don't have depth. And you can sit there and bat me over the head as much as you're saying, you've got this, you've got that. The difference between Liverpool and City, they have depth. So they got a chance to bring more, better, refreshed players. Liverpool have to rely on that 11.
It's not just that. You're also playing against Aston Villa. Granted, all you were banging on about was Gerrard return.
Yep,
Gerrard return.
I did.
All I saw was a team that we already know is defensively strong, now with a great football mind at the helm. We all see what he did at Rangers. So, an already good team in Aston Villa, because let's face it, they are a good team. They've got some good results against the top teams in recent years. But I expected you to beat them looking a lot more comfortable than it looked.
Yeah, so Liverpool have been one of the highest scoring teams in the Premier League. They've been averaging 2 goals. But by the last couple of games, prior to Wolves and obviously Villa, we were the highest scoring team, averaging 2-point-something goals per game.
Tell you what, this is probably where my main point comes from. If you were away that game, I would have taken that 1-0 win and gone, Liverpool, you did the fucking job, mate. Simple. You went away, you got the 3 points, 1-0 win regardless. That's 3 points on the tally for that title challenge. But you're in front of your whole home fans watching that. You've got the backing of the stadium. This is Anfield you're playing at. You pointed this out last week.
I did.
Anfield is the fortress. For people like yourself and other fans that travel all the way up there, if you were coming up against Aston Villa in the last few years, and even if you were to predict that score at the weekend, would you have predicted a more comfortable score than a game wise? Would you have expected more than that?
Yes, don't get me wrong. I expected more from Liverpool being at home. I agree. I did expect Liverpool at home, but at the same time,
That's all I got to say.
But on the same point, on the Liverpool point, I will say that is that I think I'll go back to it. We look lackluster, yeah, but I'm still going to say it's because we're playing the same players and they're having more games than other players are having because of the rotation part, which we don't clearly have. From a Premier League point of view, you can't. Like I said, I keep saying it, African Nations Cup. I think we'll suffer in January. I think that will be our telling point. If we get through that, still in the hunt.
We're losing our team as well. It's not just you. It's not just Liverpool.
Yeah, but the difference, and I say this in the lightest manner.
Aubameyang, El Neni, Pepe. I'm real talk. I'm just glad Saka chose England. Otherwise, he'd be off to bloody Nigeria now to do exactly the same after Christmas. But every team's going to have players that are in their starting lineup, I feel, come African Cup of Nation, which, fair play, it's your own tournament, and I do believe you play good football. But why are you holding it in the worst point throughout any season around the world? Like, the worst part of the year you could hold it in terms of a football season, you chose January and February.
Chat, if you've got anything to put onto that, on what Rich has said, what's your opinions about your team? Any players from your side going to the African Cup of Nations? Is there something happening? Is it creating something? Then please give us your input on that. So we looked at the top 3, obviously all won by a goal to nil, all won by a penalty to maintain their hunt for keeping that top 3 going. But I think when we were discussing the bottom half, some Newcastle in trouble.
Let's have a look at just simply the other results. We'll quickly run through them, brother. Like Arsenal beating Southampton 3-0. Is that what you predicted, or did you predict Arsenal to carry on with its bad run? Be the banter club that you all predicted in your top 5s?
I didn't.
Which one of you Backed my team.
I backed Arsenal to win on the predictor. So I did put them. I put them down to win 2-1 against Southampton on the weekend. So I must say, I just think they'd win. I don't think they'll continue their bad run. Southampton seem to be the draw specialist this season. Amount of draws they've been getting, so that could have been a possibility. But I did have Arsenal to win at the weekend on their game.
My opinion, I think the first 15 minutes seemed open. Not because Southampton were playing well, just because we thought we'd pass them the ball in our own half. But easy win, boys. Like, I can't say nothing more. Like, that was an easy 3 points in my eyes. That's all I got to say on that. Man United Norwich 1-0 to United. Once again, did you see a formation?
I don't get the 4-2-2-2 still. Any United fans on the chat right now, if you understand what this 4-2-2-2 United play, please enlighten me. I don't get it.
And please tell me what their playing style was against bottom of the league Norwich, who actually looked like they could have walked away with something.
And the fact that we debated on the weekend that we thought they would get hammered.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, we all predicted that Norwich and Newcastle would not gain any points. And Norwich, one of their hardest games, nearly picked up a point. If not, they had chances to take the 3.
Yeah.
So, but once again, Liverpool, like we just said about Liverpool and Man City, that's 3 points in the bag, isn't it? That's how you see it,
yeah.
Isn't it? So
if you win dirty and doesn't matter, but you win.
This is Burnley West Ham 0-0.
Bad result for West Ham, I think.
But once again, we spoke about Burnley. Do they have the defensive resilience we all know them to have to just pick up that 1 point, because obviously no one else picked up points in that relegation.
Yeah, but Burnley at home need 3 points. Don't need 1 point. They then at home is what's going to save them.
They only still have a back 3 and maybe a good defensive midfielder. That's pretty much what Burnley have home and away. They still have no striker, regardless whether they're at home or away, bro. That's the way you got to see it. So for them to get a draw against this high-flying West Ham side that I'm being told I should be afraid of tomorrow, I'm not saying that I'm overly confident, but I back my team. So it's one of them. Leicester back on form with a good win, slapping up Newcastle 4-0, exactly like we predicted. And then the last game was Crystal Palace beating Everton 3-1 and showing Arsenal how it should be done. Cool. By the way, their second goal, I think it was, top in. Stand up.
So a question I have, even to you and the chat, is how long's Rafa got?
Mate, Everton never wanted Rafa. Let's be real.
Yeah, we know that. That was all over the paper. That was everywhere. The fans did not want Rafa because I was linked to Liverpool.
But it is what it is. It's like when Man United still had Ollie, did we not, me and you, sit here, just rub our hands and go, long may it continue?
Yeah, we did.
Ollie, so to me, Everton, I've always thought are a lot of people's bogey sides. Like, you go to their ground up north and you find that you do struggle a little bit regardless of who you are. But this season, bruv, all that money spent.
But they didn't spend anything, did they?
Even Ancelotti, literally, I don't even think he said goodbye. I think literally he snuck out in the middle of the night, bought his plane ticket back to Real Madrid, like, in secret. Didn't even tell Everton. Just was like, nah, I'm done with this. I thought Everton was somewhere nice and sunny.
I think Newcastle in trouble. I think.
And then obviously the next game was Tottenham, but as we know, with all the COVID stuff coming out, it is looking dire. But they are been scheduled to play Thursday, I believe their game is.
So, yeah, I know United's game's called off today.
I do believe the Arsenal-West Ham game, don't quote me on this, I have seen different links linking it to today, saying that there has been some sort of outbreak within the West Ham team.
Okay.
So they're not quite sure the in-depth of how far it's gone, and I'll keep an eye on the situation and we'll find out more tomorrow. But at the moment, everything's going ahead. So, yeah, let's get into actually this week's fixtures.
Before we get into that, one sec, Rick. I didn't put the chat. If you've got anything to say on Newcastle, my point on Newcastle is, do you think they are relegated this season? That is my question to chat. Do you think, based on what you've seen right now, and my dream would be to see them relegated, the richest club will make me piss my pants. But I'm putting it to chat. If you think Newcastle get relegated, let me see a vote if anyone's there to see whether you think Newcastle will be relegated this season. Yeah, go on, Rick.
Man, that's a valid point. Like, or any of the teams, like there were some shockers in there this last weekend. Obviously, my one is probably the Leeds, considering that we came out of that last chat saying that they had the hardest run. And to tell you the truth, that's probably the first time this season I've seen Leeds from last season constantly top pressure. As soon as they got it, they were playing frontline pressure, hitting Chelsea. Not because, let's face it, a lot of Chelsea's back four are old. Back three most of the time, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It's one of them. And Leeds took it to Chelsea in the way that I think a lot of teams should get at Chelsea.
And
their back line isn't as young as it used to be.
And we said on Saturday that we didn't think Leeds had a chance. We didn't think Leeds were.
I said they had the hardest run, and yes, I did believe that Chelsea were going to win. But the main topic for that game wasn't just whether it was a hard game for Leeds, but we all needed to know whether this Churchill run of form was going to carry on, because let's face it, Chelsea, that's another 2 goals conceded.
Yeah.
That's what, 3 games now.
And you on about their defence before that, saying how solid it was on Saturday.
Yeah, the best defence in the calendar year, pretty much, since Churchill came in. Chelsea have had, you can't deny it. You're lucky whenever you've seen Chelsea scoreline, tell me how many times have you seen them concede more than 1, if 1. They've gone back to that boring Chelsea that we all used to hate, when it was like 1-0 to the Chelsea. Mourinho come in, scored that goal through Drogba, and then told everyone to shut up shop. That was it. And they had an A-class team. But it is what it is. But
it is.
As for the rest of the result, I think pretty much, apart from maybe the West Ham one, I thought they should have probably, in their form, I thought they were going to get the win.
Yeah.
But all the other results went exactly how I thought they were.
And so obviously there's 3. Obviously, Man United's games are off today. We've got 2 games today with Norwich and Villa, and Man City are playing as well. I know Aston Villa are beating Norwich 1-0, and City are 2-0 up as well against Leeds already. So those.
You were worrying about my predictions now, innit?
So Aston Villa 1-0 up right now.
I will put this in the chat. Thank you, Potter. I only put 3-0 to Man City, and then I remembered this result against Wolves, and I thought, nah, mate. When Man City find themselves stuck, the next game you just find that they go rampant, bruv, and they just start free scoring, and that's what I'm seeing at the minute. So it is what it is. So them 2 games are happening.
Yeah.
Just run through. Tell me what you think the actual result's going to be. Brighton Wolves.
I reckon that's going to be a draw. I think that's got draw written all over it.
I would like to think Wolves is actually going to win that one. I think Wolves.
Brighton are good at home, but they're draw specialists right now. Brighton seem to be.
Yeah, but Wolves don't go away from home and fear anyone. That's the other good thing about being draw specialists. And I do believe Alex Ferguson did say that a point away from home is maybe at the end of it 3 points. So we'll take. I'm sure they'll take that. Burnley, Watford.
Again, it's one of those. Burnley won't be scoring much. Watford, I think Watford might pull off a shock win here. And around the area, I really do. I think Watford might pull out a shock win here.
I thought this is the one that I thought had draw written all over it. If I'm going to
I wouldn't disagree. I won't be surprised if it's a draw, but I think if anyone's going to win it, I don't think Burnley have got the striking force that they need to bang in goals.
No, I don't think either one of them have the striking force. They only scored 4 against United because they're fucking shit.
Yeah, no, we saw Villa 1-0 with Ramsey scoring. Thank you for the update. So yeah, on that one.
Next game, Crystal Palace, Southampton.
Palace win.
I said Palace. Obviously, if you go and check any of my prediction, I actually put Palace to win 3. I think I went nil because I just after watching Southampton against us, even the chances we gave them not clear-cut chances, but the chances we gave them willingly, they didn't take, bruv. They got nothing. So yeah, I think Palace, Arsenal, West Ham, probably the biggest game of the week, if I'm going to be honest, midweek. 2 teams that we so-called are in that top 4 race. Obviously, it's out of like 4 teams, if you're going to be honest with it. Did I see my team being up there? No. If you had told me at the start of the season, would you like to be in the 4th spot race? I would have laughed at you. I've told you this before. But we're there and thereabouts. You've seen the bumps and the roads, but we just keep ploughing on, bro. I think Arsenal, I think we're going to win 2-1 tomorrow.
Yeah, so I've got it down to 2, but I know going by some of the predictions I saw on on the Dizzy, there's a few people that think Arsenal are going to pull up a win.
I've seen other predictions, and Arsenal aren't the favourites. I've seen the odds in a lot of places, and yeah, no, I know, and the form speaks for itself. We all know this, but if I'm surprised that my team is there, what do you lot all think? Like, if you were all bantering Arsenal, but you support Man United, Tottenham, West Ham, or who's the other one in that race? Leicester. You lot, all 3 of you would have laughed Arsenal off the park at the start of the season even after the first 3 games. The team that finished 8th, and we were talking about maybe getting that last Champions League spot, all in a case of what? Nothing happened overnight. Arteta didn't just become an A-class manager. I still don't believe he is an A-class manager, but that's a different talk show.
City's 3-0.
Floodgates, I told you, when City find their groove, I see it. And it's always this time of year. This is why I get excited for this time of year, because this is why I thought, this is going to spice up Liverpool now. Liverpool are going to get behind it and go, well, we know what time of the year it is, lads. This is where we separate ourselves from the boys. That's what champions do. Christmas period is all about getting that. So what is it? 8 games. So that's 24 points. That's a lot of points to get under your belt going into the business end of the season. So yeah, as I said, Arsenal 2-1. Don't know what everyone else thinks. Obviously, did you say Arsenal?
Yeah, I did Arsenal. No, I've got Arsenal 2-1. I've seen a couple of others. I think Nutty was one of them as well, who put West Ham to win 2-1. I think Deadpool, maybe Pagan may have said 2-1 as well to West Ham.
Someone put a 3-0.
Did they? I can have a look. I will say who.
Yeah, either way, like that's. What did I say to you last week when everyone said? Because obviously everyone said, "Oh yeah, you lost to Man United, but it's Ronaldo for fuck's sake." But you're gonna beat Everton. And I said to everyone, no, we have a rollover week. We sit there and feel sorry for ourselves when we get slapped. Not that we got slapped by United because they're shit, but real talk, all we did was give them. And when you've got Ronaldo in the box, he's going to do it. And then the next week, we played crap against Everton. Got their first win in 9. And this week, I said to you all...
Rotten Blaze, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
That's our little sorrow period over. And we went and did the business against Southampton. I reckon now, West Ham is no different. Yes, they're more structured. I believe Moyes has got them playing well. Yes, it's okay. They've beaten the top sides. I can actually see Arsenal doing something. This is a team that got stifled by Burnley at the weekend.
No, so what you had from the chat was you had no one actually said 3-0. You had Jamin said you'd win 3-1. And then you had a couple of people. So Parker said.
I thought there was someone that actually put Arsenal down for a heavy loss.
Yeah, so Deadpool don't put you down for a 2-0 loss.
Wow, he doesn't think we'll even score.
No, so the rest of them were either Arsenal and West Ham draw 2-2. We had a few of them.
Does he understand that Odegaard's got 3 and 3 and Emile Smith-Rowe has 4 and 4?
I think they understand, Rick, but I don't think that makes a difference to them.
Nah, this is what I mean. You don't come to me with your little opinions if they're not going to be facts, brother. But yeah, moving on. So, game is... Actually, this is quite a big game. Well, it's not, but I say it's a big game for Leicester to keep that run going. Leicester-Tottenham.
It's one of those things. Leicester aren't the same team there were a few years back where they were consistent. They're very inconsistent this year.
I see Leicester winning this. Leicester coming off the back of a 4-0 win, and Tottenham, who haven't played
it's Newcastle.
Their last 2 games.
It's expected
Tottenham
win.
Haven't been able to play. Tottenham is, I feel.
So they'll be fresher, right? They'll be fresher, though, right? Tottenham will be fresher. Surely Tottenham will come with the fresher legs.
It's not about fresher legs.
Surely it is. They're going to be more relaxed. They're going to be coming to the game.
They had COVID.
Yeah, but not everyone's had COVID. When the first COVID hit, they also did training at home and had to do their bits and bobs, etc., to keep fit.
That's not match fitness, though, bruv. When you should know your football by now to understand that just because someone's fit doesn't mean they're match fit.
I think Tottenham will. I don't know whether Leicester will win this. I think Tottenham will come in with the fresher legs. I really do believe that.
I think the best they're going to get out of this is probably a draw. But that's because I know what I think of Tottenham.
Pagan goes Spurs should walk Leicester.
Huh?
Pagan's put on here Spurs should walk Leicester. Pagan has put Spurs should walk Leicester.
Are you just trolling me? Like, real talk. Are you literally just here to do a nutty and just blatantly here to troll me?
No, he's been serious. He's put no. He's being serious.
Obviously,
he's agreeing with my opinion. He's agreeing with my opinion. Spurs come in with the fresher legs.
What has Tottenham shown you that makes you believe, considering where they are in the table and what they've been doing? Yes, Leicester dropped off a form. But tell me what form Tottenham have had at all this season.
I can tell you what form Leicester. I can tell you that.
They then might smash up Norwich 3-0, but then the next game they're drawing with Burnley. The game after that they're getting a 1-0 win against a late winner against Southampton.
I will answer your question, and this is what I'm going to say to you. I'm going to answer your question. So what have Spurs got? Right, I'm going to give you 3 facts. Right, first, they're in the hunt for the top 4. Second, they've got the best home record in the Premier League. Third, they win their 2 games in hand. No, but respect it. Third, they win their 2 games in hand. No, I am going to.
Well, they're not at home.
Yeah, but they win their 2 games in hand. They're in 4th place. So that's where Spurs are right now. Considering they don't look like the team, and we had this conversation the other day.
Who games are against?
Brentford. And
yeah, okay, Brentford have beaten them.
And I don't know who was it. Burnley they had at the week. No, it wasn't Burnley they had at the weekend. Whoever they had at the weekend. Hang on, I'll tell you who it was. Who got postponed for? At the weekend they had Brighton. away.
And I put that down as a draw.
So, but that's what I'm saying. If I'm not saying that will happen, but if they won their season, they'll be sitting in fourth. They'll overtake West Ham.
Okay, so you want to go on ifs and buts? Okay, yeah, they could win that game.
And Pagan thought they had better form.
Remember that Leicester have started to find their feet again, and as we're all well aware,
it's one win. One win. You can't say they found their feet. It's one win against Newcastle.
Did you watch the game?
Irrespective, it was one win. Finding form is when you win 3-4 in a row. I saw the highlights. I saw the highlights of Match of the Day.
I watched the game, and I saw the fluidness of Leicester's midfield again. That's what I saw. That's what they've been missing. They've still got Vardy up front. You're telling me Vardy stopped scoring goals? No, he's still scoring goals. If anything, he's added to his game, and now he's getting assists as well. But if you're midfield, especially when you only play three and you play that pivot, if one tiny bit of that mechanic is off, like a player's off form or he's losing due to injury, goes out the window, and you know this.
Yeah, but I'm gonna bring it back to what you said. You said based on form. What form are Leicester bringing apart from one? Pagan's even said it. Pagan said on here, form isn't based on one game, and I agree with him. It's not based on one game.
No, but sorry, Tottenham haven't played in 2 games.
No, but we're not talking about Tottenham. I'm not saying that.
Played one game, and so yes, they're going to have more energy. How far is that energy going to get them when Leicester, who are on a high from just winning, compared to Tottenham, who have just watched everyone else play football, and they've been stuck not playing at all? So what's their form? Postponed for 2.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but you said Leicester would win it. I'm thinking, but what I'm saying is, I think this is not a clear-cut Leicester win in my eyes, and obviously, chat don't think it's a clear-cut win for Leicester on their eyes either. They're going, you can't base it on one game. Spurs, they reckon Spurs, and that's their opinion. We all have opinions.
But my point is, did I give a scoreline?
No, but you said Leicester would win. And we said Leicester wouldn't.
When they just said that, I made out like Leicester would, because Leicester beat Newcastle 4-0, did that mean that I meant that they were going to beat Tottenham 4-0? No. I said Tottenham could go to Leicester and they could lose 1-0. Vardy goal, bang. One good bit of football, I don't care. Shut up shop.
Yeah.
That's done. But that's what I'm saying. I don't see Tottenham coming here with all that aggressive going, we're in the Christmas run. Why? Because they've just had 2 games postponed while everyone else is getting in that spirit because they know what time it is in the Premier League. It is Christmas period time where only the men survive. And that's what we just agreed on. This is where you always see Man City and Liverpool go, see you later, boys. Top dogs need to go earn their stripes. And you guys leave. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, okay, last season Man United kind of tried to keep up. But we all know how that ended.
Okay,
same way
I'm just going back to chat, Rick. So I'm going to Pagan's well involved. And Pagan, if you want to join the discussion on Dizzy call, Pagan, you're more than happy to come and join the Dizzy call. But what Pagan's saying here is, which I kind of, Newcastle, okay, is it one game, going back to form. Newcastle trash, completely agree. And obviously about your comment, last bit saying he don't buy it. He said, I don't buy it, bro. It's one of those things, and it's good to have these opinions between chat, Rick, and myself. It's good to have these opinions.
I know what my relationship is to Pagan. This guy would literally sell me out if it meant that he earned a quick buck. Don't even know why, because he supports in the Scottish League. What did my team ever do to his team? I'm not even sure. Why there's.
He's put no. This is real. He's saying this is real footy talk. He's saying this is real footy talk. All I'm going to say on this bit before I close this section off on this discussion is personal opinion. And I'm going to say personal opinion. I think your hatred towards Spurs is a bit of a biased opinion on this one. Personal opinion. I'm not saying it is.
I didn't say it's because I hated him.
No, I know you didn't. I know you didn't, Rick. No, I get that.
I just don't think that match fitness and that aggression and they know it's go time is going to be there. I reckon the stage that we're all at right now, they're going to be that 2 games behind. So maybe that Boxing Day game, they're going to have found their rhythm in this Christmas period. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Because they've had them 2 games postponed, they're not up with the rest of us.
No,
match
I get that.
fitness, that sense of the go time that obviously we all love the Premiership for. But yeah, moving on.
Before you start, Pagan, just put a prediction out there. He's saying Spurs 2-1. So that's what he's saying.
But that's a close game.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would probably say the same, but maybe on the other side.
Fair point.
Because I've never count Son out from scoring. I love the guy. I think he's probably the only Spurs player, bar Sol Campbell, I would ever take. Just had to put that out there. So yeah, Chelsea Everton.
Chelsea Everton. Again, actually, before we start, I've got a bit more from chat coming on this. This bit's caused this fixture's caused the thing, and it's a good discussion to have, and I'm loving it. So basically, I think it's Pagan saying what I've already said, Rick. If you think they've sat on their ass the last 2 weeks, you're wrong. They're training hard. With the COVID, yes, Pagan, we had that. I brought that same thing up as well. That
pitch, all they're doing is warm-up schedules, a bit of yoga, a little bit of maybe go in their garden and they kick a ball against the wall. They've not been allowed at the training ground for the last 2 weeks. Tottenham are only just gone back in today.
Stop it, yoga. That's what Pagan put.
Obviously, as I said, I like to come and tell you exactly. Tottenham have only just been able to start training. Got together as a team on the training. So their game is on Thursday, I believe. You think 2 days worth of training together and all of a sudden, bam. That's why I feel like otherwise I probably would have said that'd be a high scoring draw. If Tottenham had played their last 2 games and depending on what their results were, if they'd won or whatever, I'd probably go with a 2-2 or a 3-3.
Okay. We'll come back to this bit if we've got time at the end, kind of thing, because Pagan still got his thing going. I love it, Pagan, that thing. I'm just going to read Pagan's bits out. We'll bring them back at the end of the show to discuss. But the Pagan's put, stop it, yoga, having a laugh, like as in joking about when he said yoga. You think they don't have gyms in their homes? Fair point. And this isn't a new team. They have played all seasons together. Again, another valid point.
They've got gyms in their homes. Okay, tell me, is a gym making them run as fast as what Vardy's going to do at the weekend on Thursday night? Is that bike going as fast as Vardy? No, it's not.
Okay, we'll come back to this bit.
That's what I mean. I know. We've all played football. We know the difference between being fit and being match fit. That match fitness means you are ready to do the stop, start that football is about. That's why you build yourself up. That's why we don't make good long distance runners, because we cannot keep up the same pace constantly. Football has to be played at that fast pace, otherwise you look boring.
Okay. So we'll move on to the next bit. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this at the end.
That's what I mean. I just think that is the simple case. I'm not saying that I'm going to come into this game unfit.
No. I was saying that.
I'm not going to be match fit. I think that's what's going to give that Leicester that second goal that I'm saying. That 1 5-yard run you can't make because you're not match fit.
Okay, let's move on to Chelsea.
They might get, because they're going to pull muscles.
Okay, let's move on to
matches. You're going to get injured. We all know this. It's simple.
Okay, let's move on to the next game. We'll come back to this debate. Chelsea Everton. I've got to go just based on form and everything else with Chelsea on this. Chelsea at home.
I think Chelsea are going to slap this one, if I'm going to be honest.
I'm with Chelsea on this. I can't see anything past the Chelsea win on this.
Comfortable 2-0, Chelsea.
I think, and Pagan agreed with us. He thinks they'll walk it. I think it'll be. I wouldn't be surprised a bit more than that, if I'm honest. The way they're playing.
But Lukaku's still not at full sprint, and as
No.
we know, Mason Mount is their only one that's scoring goals from midfield, and even they've dried up since obviously Lukaku's been injured because they haven't got that hold-up play from him. So I just feel like 2-0 comfortable. That's
Fair enough. And the chat agrees. Pagan's put Chelsea will walk it. It'd be like a training match because I think it'll be on there. So guys, on chat, we're moving on to our. We're going to ask again.
Liverpool Newcastle.
Again.
I actually already said this is going to be 4 or 5 again. This is going to be Old Trafford 2.0.
I'd be pissed if we didn't at least score minimum 3 to 4 goals in this game. I think we should be walking it. As a Liverpool fan myself.
Once again, like I made the point against Aston Villa, you are at Anfield.
Yeah.
Against Newcastle. Make that statement. Money don't buy you fuck all if you can't actually.
No, I agree. I think we should be breezing this, and I'll go back to what Pagan said on the chat. Newcastle are trash. You know, we've talked about this last time. I'm not going to dwell on it. You know, most of their team are championship players at best, bar a couple. Yes, Pagan, you're right, Pagan. It should be pull all day long. We should be winning, 3-4-0 on this. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even worse. But if we get pull off like a 1-0 or 2-1 win, even if it's a win, I'd be disappointed. If we win 2-0 or 2-1, I'd be disappointed.
It'll be free by half time.
Yeah, so I'll be surprised. I'll be gutted if there's anything else. So that's the fixtures for this week.
That's the weekend. That's the weekday fixtures for this week, people. Nice that I'm happy that you all came in. You gave us your points of view. Obviously, we agreed on quite a few of them. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of weird, Magic. Stop doing this.
We had the one debate. Obviously, that's still going, which is the one game on Spurs Leicester. But that was a good debate to have.
The two biggest debates for this week are the Arsenal, West Ham, and the Leicester Tottenham game. They are probably the bigger. This means something, like when we said about the relegation battle for Burnley and Watford.
Yeah.
But this is European football for these teams. So.
Right. Okay, chat. For this next section, if anyone wants to get involved, I would like a bit of chat involvement here because me and Rick are going to bring up a subject that is probably more broader than about one per. Hey, Lady Snipes, thank you for coming in. Love you. So the Champions League draw this weekend on Monday. What a fuck up, right? So me being a Liverpool fan, I'm going to sit here and give you my opinion about this thing. So the draw gets made, and for whatever reason, technicalities, whatever it was, you fucked up a draw. Now, we ended up with Salzburg in the first draw, which I was more than happy with. And then we've now got Inter. With Man United had PSG in the first one, and now they've got Atletico. Now, as a Liverpool fan, am I a bit pissed? Am I a bit pissed off? Yes, I am, because I think Salzburg would have been the easier game. Don't get me wrong. But do I fear Inter? No, I don't.
First team to win all 6 games in the group stage. Why are you full of confidence, bruv?
No, I am.
And the African Cup of Nations will be dead by the time Champions League.
Let me finish. Kind of thing. What I was going to say is saying that. Am I pissed about it being in a little bit? But am I worried? No, because I don't think Inter are that great, and I don't think we've got anything to fear from them either. I think the funny part of it was if there's anyone in chat whose team have changed and you're saying we got screwed, say it now. But I look at it from Man United.
If you think that your team got screwed over, but when we all look at it, the news coming out of most teams has been the fact that a lot of teams have actually put their 2 cents in.
Yeah.
About it. They are not happy.
Yes.
So let's quickly run through what the first 8 fixtures were that came out.
Well, the original fixtures, yeah. So
original
screw
up fixtures.
Bear me, I've got them. I have got them. Bear me, but I did have them for this. Bear me 2 seconds.
I've only managed to find the second list that they've done.
Okay, no. So the first, the draw that got voided was Benfica, Real Madrid, Villarreal, Man City, Atletico Bayern.
Bayern wins that.
Salzburg, Liverpool.
Liverpool win that.
Inter Ajax.
Ajax win that.
Sporting Juventus.
Juventus. I wouldn't bet against
Chelsea,
ugly.
Lille,
Chelsea.
and PSG, Man United. That was the draw that got voided.
Right. Can I just make a comment on this? I don't know whether we've got Man United fans in, right? But just going on to the next subject of that. So after the restart, and they managed to change it, they then got Atletico Madrid.
Correct.
Am I right?
Correct.
Why the hell did I see so many Man United fans actually crying that I've heard Man United fans actually say, I would have preferred to get PSG. Are you mad? With your defence, Ronaldo can save you from a lot of things, but Ronaldo ain't saving you from Messi. Regardless what bad form he's on, there's still Neymar, there's still Mbappe.
Chat, if there's any Man United fans out there that want to go back to Rick's comment, by all means, come in with or anyone who's just a footballing fan.
Oh, yeah.
If you've got an opinion.
With your own opinion. Don't just come in to challenge me. Don't listen to bloody Magic. Magic's just trying to start trouble. But come with me with your opinions. Like, I want to talk to you about what you think. Like, I want to listen and hear what you guys think. Like, so this is my opinion.
We've got a comment come back already.
Man United the chance against PSG, but now stand a chance against Atletico Madrid.
And again, I agree with Pagan on this. I've got to go with Pagan on this one as well. Atletico aren't a walk in the park either, and that's 100% true. Atletico aren't a walk in the park.
What? Did you just say Atletico Madrid are going to beat Man United?
Yeah, like it's just as tough as PSG. It's no difference. They're a good team.
So they were a good team until they sold all their good players.
Atletico are still in a good position in their league.
They are a good team domestically. But by the time the Champions League comes back, Ragnar will have had his time to settle in and start, hopefully, for the rest of us as neutrals, start seeing an actual formation, a style of play that doesn't just revolve around trying to get Ronaldo to score you a goal.
Pagan makes a good point. It's going to come down to heart on the night. And that's what I believe.
So what I will say to you, that obviously the first leg is at Madrid. Now, how many teams, even in their domestic league, let's be real talk, even the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid struggle going to Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, they do. It's a tough game.
And we know that they are a threat in European football tournament. I get that. But apart from beating Arsenal a couple of years ago, when, let's face it, first season away from Wenger was always not going to be a great sign. And then you lost in the final. And that was with the likes of Saul and Thomas Partey, Griezmann, all playing at their peak.
Yeah, but they got there, Rick. To get to a final is hard work. You have to be a good team. You can't say because you lost the final, you're not a good team.
Arsenal getting to the final the following year was amazing. What, to go to Baku and get slapped 4-0?
Yeah, but you got there. I think people don't...
Not made it to the final. I would have rather got knocked out by Valencia and never fucking heard of Baku. You're telling me if you got slapped up 4-0 in a final, you're going to want to remember that final?
No, but the fact that your team got there.
If you had lost to AC Milan all them years ago, 3-0 in the first half, would you have remembered that final in Turin? Was it Turin?
I'm not saying remember it, but the fact the team got there is an accomplishment itself. I think, and again, Pagan, I agree with you. Pagan's point, bro, United have been dreadful this year. I agree, they haven't been perfect. And do I see what they've got? I don't see them spending any money in January, so they're going to deal with what they got. Will they be able to do much? Will this new manager do something? I don't know.
Are you just taking into the fact of their domestic football?
No, but
because if they were playing in the Premier League that game, okay, yeah, I get what you mean.
They lost to young boys in Europe.
But I still believe that Man United are still in all cups. So they're showing that they can still do the knockout competition.
I'm not saying they won't win it. I'm just saying it's going to be a tough game either way. It's a 50-50 for me. The new draw is a 50-50. So, chat, I'll continue with it. So, I guess from the new draw, what you have is PSG Real Madrid. What a game that will be. That will be an outstanding game. And I think this is where PSG might moan. PSG. This is where PSG might moan. So I go back to Rich, where Man United fans are screaming with the new draw. Real Madrid had Bayern Munich. Now they play PSG, and Bayern Munich get Salzburg. I think Bayern Munich are laughing with that new draw. I think they've gone brilliant. We get Salzburg. Real Madrid now get PSG out of it. So it's one of those things. But I just think it's been an absolute. Have some water, Rick.
Oh, yeah, no, I just had to. Sorry, chat. I've literally got chest.
Yes, Pagan. That is a rough one for Madrid. I think from what they had to what they've got now is... saying that, I think Real Madrid, if I'm right in saying, had Benfica before, yeah. So from them to now being playing PSG is a right kick in the teeth for Real Madrid, and obviously their fans being on there. So I think they've been a bit screwed. Bayern Munich had Atletico, they've got Salzburg now. So again, it's one of those things where the draws happened, and it is what it is. On there for the draw. To be fair, I just think it was a bit shit. I accept it, yes. I'm not.
Yeah, can we talk about the real points that I think should be made about this one?
Yeah.
It's not even about the fixtures. It's the fact that we are all well aware that UEFA have been under investigation how many times?
Oh, I can't even count.
Does this just... If you were under this type of allegations, would you be making screw-ups like this? It's unprofessional, and for someone that calls themselves the body of football for the whole of Europe, you should be ashamed of yourselves. It's a simple, pull a ball out of a goddamn bowl. Really? You managed to screw that up? Whatever. But let's go through the fixtures for them then.
So let's
Red
get...
Bull, Bayern Munich?
Bayern for me. Chat, have your say on this. I say Bayern win that over the two legs.
I think it'll be by quite a few goals. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Sporting Man City?
Again, for me, Man City.
You're not worried about their curse?
I think
they're going to go?
I think their curse is... It's the latter stages, the semi-finals and finals, not this early on to the knockout stage. I think when it gets further in, I think that's where their curse kicks in.
Benfica, Ajax.
Tough one. I don't know how I call this.
They're both like the selling clubs for their original leagues, I feel like. They get someone good, they're sold off for big bucks the next season. Maybe in recent times, maybe not so much. And if you're aware of Ajax, you would understand that they've actually got something amazing going there. Mark Overmars and Thingy in charge over there, they're actually doing really good.
I'm probably going to sway towards Ajax.
Is it Tim Hag is their manager?
I think so, yeah. And something like that.
He's someone that I wanted at Arsenal, I'm not going to lie. With all the youth we've got coming through, he would do amazing wonders with Smith Rowe, Saka, Gabriel, Ben White, Tomiyasu, Tierney, Partey, Lokonga. These are what Arsenal are looking at in the next 3 years. And yeah, I think if I wanted to call it, I would probably go in Ajax.
Yeah, same here. If I'm going to sway, I'm probably going to sway a little bit. It's only, and I'll tell you why I've gone Ajax. It's only because what I saw they did to Dortmund in the last couple of games, home and away. And I think that's why I when I look at those games that I saw, I've swayed towards
You know, a
Ajax.
team that proper plays, they don't care about tactics of the opposition. They go with their game plan, and it just, we do us. We don't care about anyone, and it just works for them. They're one of them teams that gets to pull that off. It's like what you were trying to say about Atletico Madrid. They were that team that Man United and Man City and Chelsea were at the top of the league, or didn't they beat you boys as well?
Who's that?
Knocked you out of the top, Atletico.
Yeah, they're not in the semi-finals when the year they lost in the final. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I find like they're going to be one of them. So Chelsea, Lille.
Chelsea. I don't see Lille causing any problems for Chelsea on that.
I don't really rate French teams. I'm not going to lie. Atletico Madrid United. Now this is going to cause the controversy.
I'm gonna, based on everything I've seen so far, I'm gonna go with Madrid. I'm with Madrid.
In current form, league positions, I would say Madrid as well. But then, didn't we count Man United were going to actually not even make the final 16 or be dropped to Europa after only 2 games? And now they're in the final 16.
Yep.
So, this is why I don't like fucking counting United out, because as I said, this is the worst United side we've probably seen in the last 50 years. And yet they've still been there and thereabouts. They've still won stuff. They've still been up there. So I'm just saying, every time I've tried to fucking shit on them, they've fucking gone and done something different and everyone wrong. Sorry, and that PSG result when supposedly PSG were going to knock them out and Lukaku comes and runs and this is what I'm saying. If Lukaku could do it, Ronaldo could do it. Villarreal, Juve.
So this is the thing, because Italian teams away from home aren't great. They're not great. No. And Juventus, I think they're about 5th or 6th in the league right now. They're not even fighting in for the top 4.
Villarreal, Emery's got them playing well. Same as no, that's Seville. What's his name at Villarreal?
So, you look at saying that Villarreal are 13th in their league, are 13th in their own league. So you look at if you go by league form, they're probably not doing so great. But in the competition, they've got some really good results in the Champions League. And Juventus are 7th in their league. So again, 2 teams not doing brilliantly in the league, but have been all right getting through the competition.
I wouldn't count the old lady out just yet.
No, I don't know how this is going to go, but again, if I'm going to sway, it's going to be Juve. I'm 49-51 Juve. That's where I look at it.
And then we get to Inter Milan,
Liverpool.
All day long. And then the big boys.
Can't
PSG,
call it.
Real Madrid.
I can't.
Let's face it, Real Madrid are dead out here.
They're top of the league.
They're dead.
They're top of the league.
There's no one to chat. Sorry, would they be that far ahead if Barcelona weren't shit right now?
Okay, so I'm going back to what you just said, Rick. You said they're dead. If they were dead, then they wouldn't be top of the league. They'll be like Barcelona.
Sorry, who's challenging them?
Hayes. Well, going by this, no one. They're 8 points clear. Sevilla is 2nd.
Sorry, and if Messi didn't leave Barcelona last season, and Suarez didn't leave Barcelona last season, and they didn't get Aguero, who happens to now have heart and lung issues all of a sudden after having a great fucking football career, not saying anything, I can still see PSG pulling this one out of the bag. Because we already know where their Messi comes from. What, you don't think it's going to hurt Messi seeing Barcelona not competing with Real Madrid?
That's a whole nother conversation altogether. Not being funny. That's a whole nother conversation completely.
Well, you don't think Messi's going to want to still get one over on Real Madrid?
Oh, no. I agree with that. I'm just saying Barcelona not making the knockout stage is a whole nother conversation altogether. Barcelona not making that for the first time in what? I can't even think how many years, like 100 years, whatever it is. You know, they haven't made the Champions League.
Well, if we were like the longest runners in Europe, like Barcelona must have been there or thereabouts. Yeah. Like, I can't lie, I've never known a Champions League without Barcelona being spoken at.
No.
There's the reason are worldwide, you can't take it away from them. But that's what I mean, they're not in it.
I'm going to go Madrid on that game, though.
Say is, if you're going to sway, then PSG or Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Real Madrid. Right.
I'll take that.
So, to our next and final bit of conversation, and this is towards, I guess, any Arsenal fan out there who's on the chat right now. This is your chance to join in. Obviously, Rick's going to have his opinion on this because obviously it's his club. And it's news that just came out in the last day or so. Abu getting stripped of his captaincy at Arsenal for disciplinary reasons, from what I understand. And Rick, correct me if I'm wrong. From what I understand, he came back late from a trip he was authorised to go on, but didn't turn back to training until a day late, from what I've read.
Yeah. You kind of got it right. You just don't know the details.
No.
So, you are correct. Aubameyang asked for leave. He was told to be back on the Wednesday night. He didn't arrive back until the Thursday. Now, here's where I'm kind of confused. So he's had late issues.
I'm still here. Right. I just need to put my laptop on.
Yeah, he's had late issues before chat. And we all remember the London derby last season. Turned up late. Was memed in every single social media with his Lamborghini stuck in London traffic. But we won, and he started the next game. But this time, there's something more going on. And like I said last week when you came to me with the Wijnaldum rumours about him going to Arsenal, I told you then, Arsenal can't. There was a time I never heard Arsenal in the papers. And now there's a story for Arsenal every day. Leaked this has come out. But here's the facts that we know. Now, Aubameyang's leave, he asked for it because his mum is in hospital. Now, Aubameyang asked for leave so he could go and pick her up.
I heard it was a tattoo.
Unforeseen circumstances, obviously, he was granted leave, but he had to be back Wednesday night and at training ready for Thursday. Aubameyang didn't get back until Thursday morning, but did not arrive late at the training session.
SJ, I'll come back to you in 2 seconds. I'm going to let Rick finish and I'll come back to you.
He then had his disciplinary, which, as if you're an Arsenal fan, you would know that he was dropped from the squad that played Southampton. Now, all of this has come over. We were told that we were to give them their time and they were dealing with it inside. They weren't going to do anything. But today it came out that due to whatever's happened, which I can't see someone being late, and for that reason alone of I wasn't late for training, actually, which is what you told me I had to be back for. If this is all true, something else must have happened. You don't strip your captain halfway through the season unless something else is going on behind the door.
Hey, Bat. Thanks for joining. SJ, I haven't forgotten you. I'm coming back to you in a minute.
Yeah, go on, ask us.
So first I'm going to say, before I go to SJ's question, first thing I'm going to say to you, I heard it was something to do with a tattoo. Don't know how true that is. I was just reading some stories that he was going for a tattoo and that's why he went. I didn't know about the sick mother part. If it's a sick mother, I thought a club like Arsenal would show more.
His mum is in hospital.
So I thought,
he asked for leave.
If that's the case, I think Arsenal would show, well, in my thoughts, should show more courtesy towards their own player, compassion, etc., Okay, so FJ has come back with. Here we go. This is going to kick it off, I think. Arsenal became a banter club. AFTV put Arsenal on the map for the wrong reasons.
Then clearly you're not watching every single interview. You choose which ones you want, or you see the little shorts that are made to banter Arsenal fan TV. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I am a fan of every single person on their very well respected YouTube channel, because banter it whether you like, AFTV is the biggest out there, or one of. Do you know how many awards these people have? Don Robbie has won. But if you are going to only take certain people like Ty, for instance, who I don't agree with what he says, but guess what? It's a fan TV channel. Now, if it's given a fan the right to say something, because as an Arsenal fan, we haven't been involved in our club in too long. So therefore, it's been run into the ground to the point where even the Fans Trust Committee weren't told anything. They weren't in the loop. They didn't have communications. There wasn't anyone that they could turn around and go, why is Arsenal playing this badly? You told us that we were going to compete with Bayern Munich and Real Madrid and Barcelona within 5 to 10 years of being at the Emirates. I can see you all smiling, and the difference is Arsenal, like Liverpool, by the way, because your owners aren't exactly your favourite people either. The only reason I think you're quieter than the rest of us, like Man City, is because you're winning.
Yeah.
If you finished 8th the last 2 seasons and then your club came out and went, we've entered ourselves into a Super League. I know as a fan you even said no to it, regardless whether you're winning or not, because it was a fucking joke and a disgrace in the name of all football for what it stands for. Just because you're greedy and you want it all for yourself, going back to the UEFA part in that. If anything, it was a lead-on effect. The amount of money that fans pay to watch their teams, the amount of money that fans pay to even watch their teams from the comfort of their own home is extortion. And yet, they already take that money in. And then for clubs like Arsenal, who have that big stadium, who we were told by Arsene Wenger himself that he left us financially stable. The stadium was sorted. So why the hell were we still sending our best players to Man City, to this team, to that team? And that's what I mean. It comes down to more than that. So is it, like you said, is it an issue within Arsenal? Or are we just got a lead to believe that this is the case, that I'm going to get onto my actual opinion instead of just the facts of what we know? Was Aubameyang in the wrong? Now, as I said, if you play football, when I've been on that pitch, especially when I was younger or even when I got older, I look up to my captain. On that pitch, your captain is everything. Now, this is all my opinion. When Aubameyang was made captain, who was the captain before? Do you know, Magic?
Arsenal?
Yep.
No, top of my head, no.
Right. It was Granit Xhaka.
Oh, yeah, it was Xhaka, yeah.
And in the game, he lost his captaincy because he decided to walk off the pitch as slow as he could, telling the fans to go fuck off.
Yep, remember that.
Finger up at him. And guess what? That's not the level we hold our captain to. Now, we said this in the last week's podcast. Henderson isn't world class, but he's the glue that keeps that world class ticking. Hence why he's captain. He's not world class, and yes, he's in the media a lot, and for the good reasons, obviously, the way that if there's anything that comes up, I take my hat off to him. He was the one that called the meeting for the Super League between the 20 captains, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and that's what I mean. I take my hat off to Henderson. You are a captain. Now, Aubameyang was made captain because at that time, Aubameyang was getting golden boots. Aubameyang knocked City out of a semi-final and then went on to make Chelsea look like they were shit in the final with 2 sick, amazing goals against my banter club. My club's that banter. We knocked City and Chelsea out in a semi-final and a final with the shit team. Not even the back four you see now. Not Ramsdale. Yes, okay. Martinez is probably one of the best keepers in the Premier League at Aston Villa. That's why I said to you, 1-0 against Aston Villa, I would probably take that. Martinez in goal and the structure they have, fair play. But Arsenal don't have that. And Aubameyang was the closest link to us as fans. He communicated with us. He was always coming around talking to the fans after the game. And he was playing well. After what Xhaka did, you needed to find a quick fix. And Aubameyang was that quick fix. But
Okay.
the issue is Aubameyang got bad. And the worst thing about it now is the last good captain I remember for my team is back in 2007, Thierry Henry.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the chat.
2007. 15 years of no captain back in this team.
Okay, Rick, I'm going to go back to chat. So SJ correct him because he said, look, sorry, with all honesty, it's not because of AFTV that made Arsenal Banter Club or being criticised most. He's saying AFTV accelerate the negativity and the memes, and Arsenal's bad performances. Main issue has been the owners, in his opinion.
Right. So you want to go off right now? Let's go real talk. AFTV, sorry, are what? Any different from the radio shows you used to listen to after all the games had finished, when all your fans were ringing in and TalkSport and people like that are winding your fans up going, oh, but you lost today. How did that make you feel? To roll you up so you could give them content. But AFTV do it for Arsenal. You've got Cop TV up in Liverpool. Every team has a fan channel, bruv, or chat, SJ. Just because certain people on it are a joke doesn't mean it's a whole joke. Like, I've seen a guy that does the Manchester one, and I've seen the crap he's put up with. Granted, he says some crap too, but that's not the point. He backs his team, and even to the point that, like now, if this goes to shit, yes, it becomes a banter item, and you all then start oh, look at Arsenal. And like you all said, and like we all say about bad teams and rivals that are doing badly, long may it rain. But as I will always say to you, you want to run that risk of taking everyone for granted in the Premier League, including the likes of relegation teams. You're doing it at your own team's peril. That's why I didn't say Arsenal were going to beat and slap up West Ham.
Okay, so
my prediction against Southampton wasn't like that. But the fact is Arsenal haven't had a captain for 15 years.
Okay, so I know it's a bit off subject. I'm going to go back to the chat on this, and this is back to you, Rick, again. I said, yes, every club has fan clubs and fan YouTube channels, no doubt. But the AFT is something else. It's like they're put on an act to attract views.
Right, because AFTV was the first. There's a reason they've got more awards than any other sport channel probably on YouTube, because they were the first. So instead of cussing off what you believe is bad, like now, you
it's an opinion, Rick. It's his opinion.
But how many times has Pagan contested something I've said tonight? How many times have you contested something I've said tonight? Why? Because we are fans of the beautiful game. No different from every fan you see on every single fan channel. You just always want to focus on the ones that are either idiots and that are there just to make content like you want to say it is, when really it's just to give them their say. Doesn't matter who you are. You can be an idiot. You could be a delusional fan. You could be a real talker. You could be someone that's still like, fuck the process. Fuck Arteta. But that's their opinion. If you do, and I will say it again, if you don't like their opinion, why would you watch it? Why? Same with this. Like, if you don't like my opinion, then come and tell me what yours is. Change my mind.
And I think that's what this is. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
So this channel is so. FJ, I come back to what you're saying about AFTV. I guess don't worry, we're not AFTV, right? Me and Rick are not AFTV, so I'll put it out there. We're not, we're no near as big AFTV. But this is, and I guess this is why I want to do this, and this is why me and Rick are doing this as well. Is that there are a lot of people out there, including yourself, SJ, and other people that love the game, love a sport, whether it's football, boxing, golf, whatever it is, love the sport, and we're passionate about what we talk about and what we say, and and it's great that you have a platform just like this right now. How Rick is expressing his about his team Arsenal, and I will do the same for Liverpool and anybody else. You have a platform to where you can base your opinion. SJ, what you're saying, take on board valid as well. You have a right to your opinion on this.
Obviously, like if you all your thing is, and obviously as an Arsenal fan, that's all I ever see from everyone. Like you just base it on negativity, right? Please go and have a look at when we beat Man United last season at Old Trafford. Go on, I dare you. And then come back to me on Saturday's show and give me the exact video and the exact person that turned around and said, I don't give a fuck, Arsenal are shit and they should just fucking do this and they should do that. Because I guarantee you there was not negativity. A 1-0 win at Old Trafford for the first time in I'm too ashamed to even say when the last time we probably won at Old Trafford, bar the result that we got there last season. But it's a result. Like
SJ, I agree with you.
Fans were positive, but they don't get mean like you say they are and posted 100 times for a 5 to 10 minute segment of a whole 8-minute interview for your delight, because that is just another team. That's like Magic coming to me, taking something that I've said, turn a whole sentence which came with facts, and he managed to pick 5 seconds, which makes me look like a dick. Tell me, is it any different? All you see is certain people, certain men that are just idiots, and I will agree with you. There are only certain people, there are probably 4 people I watch their interview every single week. And that's because, like people on this show, some share my opinion, and that's great. Same way that I share some of their opinions. But like you, there are opinions I won't even tolerate. And Ty is one of them. With the headphones, we spoke about this before. Like, he is crazy, but he backs his team. That's what you call a delusional fan. Like, but he supports his team through and through. Win, lose, draw. And the worst thing about it is people like that do support other teams call people like him a fake fan. I would like to tell you that he's at every reserve game, every under-21s game, every women's game, and every men's game. Does that sound like a fake fan to you? Because it don't to me. But all you lot see is his headphones or the fact that he said, and I will agree with you, there was a game it rained and we lost 1-0 and he blamed it on the rain. We lost to the rain. What? Both teams didn't play in the rain. And I agree with you, SJ. There are stupid opinions, but that's going to be wherever you go. You just base it on AFTV because they're the biggest and the most out there.
Okay, just going to go back to chat here. Pagan, I agree with your comment here. All of the fan TV channels all over do it to bring in the views. I agree to a certain extent that is true, but again,
well, what is it? And that's what a lot of it is. YouTube is that platform.
Yeah.
Is it not? And that's what I mean. So
that's what this platform's about.
That's what it's about, and it's about finding people that share your opinion or someone that can come back to you and maybe change your mind. Like both you and Pagan have brought great points to me. Like with the Tottenham, okay, maybe you are right. That 2 weeks could, and that's what I mean. Come to me with your opinion. and what you believe is a fact. Because I might see it as that's not match fit, and you're seeing it as they ain't played 2 games.
Okay, just going to the next bit, Rick. I'm gonna quickly go through these comments now. I just realised how long we've been running for.
I'll answer them as you run from.
SJ just said. So going back to what you're saying about Ty going to every game, the under 19s, under 21s, the women's, and the thing. He's just put. We have those types of fans in every club. Ty is an embarrassment. I'm sorry. He's saying, I'm sorry. He does no justice to me, which is his opinion, which is fair enough.
He's an embarrassment for some of his opinions.
Or justice to himself. He don't do justice to himself.
No, but he's an embarrassment to the club. The one guy that... Sorry, tell me what fan you have that you know of on
Thank you,
a fan channel that can honestly say he goes to every game, home and away, regardless where it is, for 4 different tiers of your football club. Granted, some of you don't have 4 tiers of your football club, which that's what it is. But he does. Home and away, week in, week out. This is also a guy that I will have you know actually had a type of relationship with Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger used to come out at the end of games and talk to...
Thank you, Alex.
And have a little conversation with Ty. And Ty used to ask him just blatant questions like, what do you think went wrong? And he literally told Ty a totally different thing than what he said in his interview on Sky. Still second leg, we pulled back, etc., etc. But when Robbie recorded Ty and Arsene Wenger talking, it was stated, he was like, it's a 2-0 deficit away from at home. That's 2 away goals. Do you know the percentage or the likelihood of a turnaround to a 2-0 away goal deficit? He would never have said that on live telly in front of all the fans because he knows we would have gone. We already knew that, but you're not filling us.
Hi, Paul. No, Paul, it's a discussion. It's not a heated discussion. It's been a valid discussion to have. It's been questions from the chat.
To me, it's every fan club will have them. You said it yourself, SJ. Every club has them. Is that not what your comment actually said?
Yeah, he did say every club has them. Yeah, he did.
So regardless, you are just picking out Arsenal because of what? Because you can see the badge here, or because that's what the general conversation is?
No, I think he's...
By Saturday, I'll come to you, SJ, on Saturday with 5... Actually, I'll bring you all 19. I will bring you 19 videos of every other Premier League team with someone that's just as delusional as Ty, and you haven't mentioned. Why? Because they're not put out there as memes as much as AFTV is because of how big they are. They're massive, mate. You can't deny that with AFTV. They're the ones that have taught everyone else how to get into this.
We could have the discussion all night long about AFTV and obviously other channels as well.
I want it to be about AFTV. I don't want it to be about fan cams in general. Like, you just pointed out Arsenal as singular. But in your comment, you said every club has them. But just because Arsenal give the chance for that fan to have his say, that makes it what? A joke team? No. In my eyes, that's you giving your fans a chance, regardless. And AFTV don't just do these stupid ones. I'm on AFTV. I sent in a video for their out-of-community little videos. And I literally said, and I don't go on there and I'm exactly how I am now. I will tell you exactly how I feel and I bring the facts to back it. And that is what it is.
I'm just going back to
what you said in the comment. It's the same. Every club has fans like Ty.
I'm going to go back to chat, Rick.
No, Liverpool have magic, for Christ's
sake. Okay, so I'm going back to chat. I think, as I said, look, I think there's loads of clubs here that, all have their chats. Pagan, I do agree with your comment. So on the bit that, and I think Rick brought it up earlier, that Pagan said that AFT went the biggest first. They did. They're one of the first ones out there, doing it out there and making it big.
They won all the main awards for this year's YouTube show as well, by the way. Just putting it out there.
So Pagan, yes, agree with that fact that, they were one of the first biggest out there. And I think Rick pointed out earlier on in the conversation that they were out there. Miss Annex, you can shout Newcastle as much as you want, but they're still shite. and they're getting relegated.
Relegated.
Polter, you can Polton, you can come up with your. And then obviously Polter, you can come in with your Hull. You're getting mauled by the Tigers, but Hull need to get back up first to get more themselves. Pagan, they were also the first to realise that. Okay, I'm trying to read this. Pagan said they were also the first to realise that the joke men bring in the views and the laughs.
See, and that's, okay, yeah, and that's pretty much obviously because I feel like my team was the one singled out. That's why you got like my full-on opinion, because that's what you'll get from me. But Pagan's right. You have to have content, brother.
Yeah.
Otherwise, but you can't tell me that you can go on to AFTV and tell me out of the 20 interviews, all of them are joke man.
Okay, so we'll he goes HJ said love that clown. HJ has just said love that clown, need that full on. So he's loved your content today, what you come out with today. But they have brought up a topic we've spoken about before, so I'm going to bring it up just for a change of subject on this. Is what do you think of Newcastle's takeover? So I'll just say on that, HJ, I have said all along that I will be happy if Newcastle get relegated, being the richest club in the world. I will piss my pants. And going by what happened this weekend against Leicester and the team, and I've said it, I think on Saturday's chat, that I think Newcastle have got championship players at best. Championship players at best.
So you just mentioned how they got battered by Leicester, but you should have mentioned then that they were also playing Liverpool on Thursday.
Yeah. And as I said, I think Newcastle have got championship players at best by two players. Two players in Newcastle squad would make St. Maximin one being one and probably Wilson being the other. Bar that.
I would even take Joe Willock out of there. I do believe Joe Willock is a Premiership player. I just believe he would be better suited to someone that is actually possession-based football.
Actually,
that's all I'm saying.
So Craig's saying shocking at mine, but Craig, you support Man United. We've already spoke about Man United earlier on in today's.
What's shocking? What's shocking?
What was about Newcastle, obviously being kind of thing on that bit. Miss Alex, I know you don't like hearing what I'm saying. You're from the Toon.
Don't bring me the Magic's whole vendetta against Newcastle.
No, right? This is me.
I still believe we're going to get to January, and because of how crap Mike Ashley was an owner, they are actually eligible to spend, is it 200 million in a January transfer window? By the way, Aubameyang, I think, is for sale. 50 million here or there, like hint, wink, wink. Newcastle fans.
Newcastle fans. Yeah. So going back to chat, SJ always had a soft spot for Newcastle. SJ, you can have a soft spot as much as you like. I do not have a soft spot for Newcastle. I want to get relegated.
Newcastle haven't been good since Shearer, and even then they weren't exactly great.
Craig, I agree with you. I really don't care about Newcastle. I know you don't, Craig. I know you're a United fan. SJ, SJ, I want them to do well. Well, you're probably one of very many. I don't think Newcastle fans want them to do well, so I think you're on your own in there.
Obviously, it's just another rival. We think about it. Chelsea started this trend. Let's be real. Real talk. Chelsea started this trend. So for me, Man City then followed. Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool followed in the money sense, but I think you actually did amazing business. And you, as a Liverpool fan, know that yourself. Yeah. Coutinho and the buys, and for certain Mane and Salah. Oh my God, Van Dijk, Alisson. These are buys that literally prove that whatever you were doing was working.
SJ, I've got a question for you. Because you've just made a comment. I can't wait for them to spend. If you were Newcastle's owner right now, going to the who would you buy? That's it. Who would you buy?
Coming to goddamn New, just to make a point. Griezmann, when he was at wherever it was with Mbappe, they were on the plane on the way home from an away game in Europa, and he said to him, he was playing Championship Manager, Griezmann was, on his laptop on the plane. And he said to Mbappe, hey, I'm manager of Newcastle and I just bought you. And he went, where's that? Is that in Spain? Bro, no one knows who Newcastle are.
So it's a question to SJ, as you've asked the question. SJ, if you got, who would you bring in? Who would you bring in, SJ? Before we close this chat show, off from that last bit from chat from SJ, I'm asking you, who would, or anyone from chat, if you're a Newcastle's owner, who would you bring in? Because I can't see anybody that big. That's the bit, SJ. Who would want to come to Newcastle right now, based on their position in the league, possibly playing Championship football next season, even on loan? Who do you think they could get? I don't see a lot of players wanting to go to Newcastle, not even for the money. Not even for the money. I do not see people wanting to go to Newcastle at this present time. So that's what I put out there. If anyone's got anything, I don't see anybody wanting to go for the better thing.
And just another note to add, when we did our relegation talk on Saturday's show, we already believed that they were behind in that battle anyway, and we also, everyone in chat predicted that they wouldn't even pick up a point throughout this whole Christmas period. So even I'm starting to think that maybe even by January the damage will be too great. And even if you bought a Aubameyang or an informed midfielder or a goalkeeper that could save you, like Henderson did for Sheffield United, etc., like
Pagan,
they're going down.
Okay, so I'm a quick go back to chat. I couldn't tell you, but it's either going to be big money salary or investment in young talent. And SJ, I get what you're saying, right? Big money salaries or investment, but investment in young talent isn't going to keep him in the Premiership. Pagan, look at Joe Hart. He took a pay cut to walk away from Spurs to play first team football at Celtic. It's not all about money. But again, Pagan, Hart was coming to the end of his career. He's been to all these different clubs and been there. He left to get first team football. He's come to the end of his career. So that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. It's like he's come to the end of his career. That's why he's moved on.
For me, it's just still down to the fact that if they were actually in that battle and you look,
thank you, SJ.
As I said, even with that money, we had the conversation that said to you my point of view. Even with that money, you're only going to do what Man City did at the start. You don't go out and buy your fucking Aguero. You don't go out and buy the Fernandinho. You don't buy the Sterling. You go out and get that just about striker, like they did. Well, oh my God, we said who it was the other day. The Brazilian.
Robinho.
That was Man City's big signing when they had millions and millions.
Oh, brilliant, Biggie. You're just right on time, Biggie. Go on, finish yours, Rick, before I bring Biggie in.
That's the type. These are the same type of ways that Newcastle are going to go about it. Newcastle know they're rich. They don't need to be told. But like Magic said, and like I said in the previous show, them going down adds 2 more years onto their rebuild, regardless what anyone says. The only way this really works out, and even then, it's going to be a process just like Man City's was. It's going to take time. Man City didn't come good overnight with their billions, did they?
Okay, Rick, I'm going to stop you just there because there's a point you just made there that someone else exactly made on chat. So Rick just said about it's going to take time like Man City. Biggie's come in and said it will take them to 6 to 7 years to get where Man City are now, which is what you were replying to.
I think it will take even longer.
Okay, and then Biggie, what? Go on.
Because I believe Man City was a better buy than the likes of someone like Newcastle. The only thing Newcastle had, and we all agreed, their fan base. They go everywhere. They travel everywhere. If you're a Toon, you're a goddamn Toon. And and I love their fan base. I've actually been to St. James, and it's amazing atmosphere. It's literally one of the best I've ever been to, and their pies aren't half bad either. But I don't see them being as good as Man City. And I think it's going to take them longer than it did Man City, for the sheer fact that Man City had Man United next to them. They've got Liverpool just next to them. These are big clubs that have rivalries, have history. Newcastle's history is all right, depending on how old you are. That's all I'm saying.
So I'm bringing Biggie.
They're not going to have the same pull, I feel, like we saw Man City have. Because Man City, the one thing that they did do was go out and get a good manager. Well, they stuck with Hughes at the start, which we all know was never going to be their first big signing. Let him settle the ship. He's been in the Premier League how many years? He played at United. Let him settle the ship. And then they brought in the likes of Pellegrini, and these were all...
Okay, so I'm going to call Biggie into this. So Biggie, one of the things we said is, so you've answered one of the questions already, Biggie. You said, I think the owners know they're going to go. So that's the first question. Do you think Newcastle will get relegated this season? Obviously, I'm one of the people that I'd love to see Newcastle get relegated because I think they're the richest club in the world. And I think the position they're in right now, I don't think they can get out of. I don't think the January window, they will get much buy-in. So what was your opinion on that? But you said you think they'll go down, Biggie, and you're a Newcastle fan. But if I was going to ask you the question, Biggie...
Down, and all it is going to do is the 5-6 years that it took for City to sustain what they had, bearing in mind they were a established Premier League club still. They were shit, let's face it. Man City were shit. But they were in the Premier League. They weren't being relegated. They weren't being threatened with it. But Newcastle is. I don't get where this takeover idea came from. Yes, you can make them a Man City.
No, Biggie's agreed.
I think it's going to take 3 years more than what it's taken the likes of Man City. And it's taken Man City 5 years to become that dominant, and I don't even think they took into account that you boys were going to get good.
Okay, so Biggie's come back and he said, yes, 100% down now. That's why they brought Howe in, because he's got experience in the Championship to get them back up. He's got the right experience to...
I think they know that they're going down.
Yeah, and that's what he said.
Know that this is a long-term project.
It is. And SJ, what did SJ thought?
In 7 years, coming in the next 7 years, being in a Champions League anthem with a Newcastle badge in show.
Hey, BY, thanks for joining.
I do see in the future Newcastle standing there listening to the national anthem of the Champions League. But in 8 years, 7 to 8. Yeah, 7 to 8 years. 2 years, I reckon, it's going to take you to go down. 1 year in the Championship. The first season you come up, I think that's when you lay that foundation. You go and make one marquee signing, 2 marquee signings. The first thing you do is you get a good keeper and you get someone that can score you goals. You got to remember, Man City were bringing in people like Dublin, who, doesn't he do the show Homes Under the Hammer?
Yeah.
That was a Man City signing that helped them get to where they are today. People like him, players like him.
We should all play with FIFA. You're not wrong, SJ.
How long is Liverpool going to hold on to Henderson for?
I think he's already agreed a new contract for 2 year one. I think that's another 2 years max.
2 year one. So by the time Newcastle come up into the Premier League, he's ready to move on from Liverpool.
Yeah.
People like Henderson would be that type.
Don't know. He'll be about 34 then, though, Rick. He'll be about 34 then.
34, and you've just been bought out by the next people that have got loads of money, and you're thinking, I can do something here because I know I can, because I'm that type of professional. We said this about Henderson earlier, but it's a start. He knows that he is the start. He's not the finishing product for what we will see Newcastle become, but he will be that Dublin signing for them in their transition and journey. Okay,
Biggie, I'm going to come back on you on this one. Sorry, I've got to disagree with you. Not for me. Newcastle need defence, midfield players, goalkeeper and strikers. I don't think your strikers are good, Biggie. I don't think your strikers are good. I think Wilson is decent if in the right team. That John Nealto is I think it's a pile of poop.
Saint-Maximin is your best player,
Yeah.
hands down.
Saint-Maximin is what keeps, and I think if you go down, you don't keep him.
And second, I would probably put Longstaff in there as well. He's probably your best midfielder, and you don't have a defence, let's face it, and you haven't had a goalkeeper since Tim Krul.
So, Biggie, what I'm going to say to you is, I think Saint-Maximin will leave if Newcastle go down. I don't think he'll keep hold of him. I don't think the brilliant John Tino, whatever his name is, I don't think he makes a League One club the way he plays right now. I'm not being funny. I'm not being disrespectful to him, but I don't think he's proved nothing.
Can we literally also say at the same point, we know where Newcastle are? Are you telling me that any player is getting up for games right now?
No, but he's been there a few seasons, Rick. He's been there a few seasons and not done nothing. He's been there a few seasons and not done nothing.
Yeah, but I don't remember them being this bad. Do you not remember the run they went on between January last year to the end of the season? Where Joe Willock got on winners and that extra point. Scored something like 7 and 9 or something to get him wins and draws at Tottenham and Leicester. And I'm sitting there thinking, Newcastle, if this takeover goes through, then they're going to do good. But the difference is Newcastle didn't use any money in the summer to actually make sure that they were going to survive the Premier League.
Okay, go back to chat. You can score as many goals as you like, but if there's nobody to feed the striker, you need 4 to 5 big buys on first season backup. Agree, Pagan. I don't disagree with that. Going back to what you said about Henderson, Rick, Biggie said he's a Mackham, he's a Sunderland fan, so doesn't see any chance that Henderson will join Newcastle, but he's a Sunderland boy.
And Sunderland boy, is it? So I'll be seeing you very soon then, will I, Biggie? Quarterfinals and all that. It's good to know.
And Biggie's put, he's done nothing. So, okay, you agree with that point about Jonitio? Yeah, in my opinion, he's done nothing. But, it is what it is. And we go...
Are we actually just basing Saint-Maximin as a good player just because he just happens to be Newcastle's best player?
No, I said to you on Saturday I'd have him at Liverpool. I said to you on Saturday I'd have him at Liverpool.
What, in your starting lineup?
Hey?
Does he beat who's in your starting lineup?
No, but he gives me better cover than what I've got.
No,
he does.
That's not what I asked you.
He doesn't make my starting lineup. He doesn't. He gives us the depth.
I'm telling you, as an Arsenal fan, if we bought him, it's a good buy. But then do I think, is it a good buy just because we're buying a backup? Does he improve the starting 11? No, I don't think he does for anyone in top flight. I think for Wolves or something, he's going to do well.
Fair enough. Good point.
But then you're just making Saint-Maximin another Origi.
No, but I think he'd have more chance than Origi.
Origi won a Champions League. What's Maximin won?
He's been at Newcastle. Of course, he's not won nothing. When's the last time Newcastle won anything?
There you go. So don't tell me that he's better than Origi.
Okay, my total goal would improve the Arsenal starting 11. Pagan's winding you up now. Right? I'm not even going to go into this conversation, Pagan.
I think we've come to the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. Right, if anyone, obviously, this is your time to get everything that you guys want in, anything that maybe you've heard in the TalkSport and want an opinion on, or just a fact that you know from the week's news of football that you might want to add. It's that time, ladies and gentlemen.
So basically anything from the chat now before we shut the stream down. So I'm just going to read out stuff. We probably won't answer much of it and we'll take all jokes on board. So going off of Pagan's comment, saying my 12-year-old girl would improve the Arsenal starting 11. Biggie's gone, Pagan should probably make the best captain for Arsenal. SJ's come back with might as well get Ole on the Arsenal job.
Oh, wow. You all said last week you were cussing me out and then my team. Where were they? Fucking 3-0 winners.
So
Don't talk.
Ant and Deck for the Newcastle. Hang on, no, he's coming with Ant and Deck for the Newcastle job.
Oh shit.
That's not a bad shout, Nutty. That is not a bad shout, Nutty. And they'll probably do a better job than what's been happening currently, to be fair. Right, guys. Before I shut off script, I just want to check something. Obviously, we've got everyone made their high five predictions today. So if you didn't, you lost out for the midweek fixtures. Please, Biggie, start NFTV. Piers Morgan for the Arsenal job.
Oh my god.
Pagans just wrote. Pagans just wrote, "Lol, my girl just came in. I told her what I wrote, and she said she would make it as Arsenal boss."
I was waiting for that joke to go the other way. His daughter came in. He went, "Want to play for Arsenal?" And all she did was turn back away and walk back out of the room.
Okay.
Say fuck all.
So I can clearly say right now that nobody won the predictor, and I'll tell you why I'm saying this. It's because nobody predicted Man City to win 7-0 today. So nobody predicted Man City to win 7-0.
Real talk. How many of you told me I was chatting shit that Man City had actually finally found their groove? No, I'm not saying you personally, but the people trolling me in chat trying to bring me the whole Man City, but they've got this and they've got that. I know what Man City is, but if you watch football, you know damn well that City starts slow, and then we all have this chat: are they still as strong as City as we've always seen them? And then it gets to this time of year, 7-0.
Yeah, so City won 7-0 today, and it was 7 different scorers. So no one scored 2. There were 7 individual different scorers in tonight's.
What does that do for Leeds now? And that's what I'm talking about. When I made that Leeds prediction, yes, they played well against Chelsea, or Chelsea just played crap. That's up to debate. But yeah, Leeds could be in that.
No one watches Kardashians, Alex. January. And Aston Villa won 2-0. So the predictor, no one got it because no one, I don't think, in their right mind would have said 7-0.
I bet Aston Villa 2-0, did I not?
I don't know. I can have a look on the Dizzy quickly, but I've got it up. Clan Prince, you did have 2-0 Aston Villa, but you had Man City at 4-0. You're 3 goals short.
Yeah, right. I'm 6'2". I took the 2.
So it does nothing for Leeds. Anyone else said they would. I think compared to where Leeds were last year, I think they're going the wrong way this year. Belisa could be. I
think is starting to outdate.
Yeah, I think he could be in trouble after today's result. A 7-0. That's a battering in anyone's book. So it's one of those things where. Did he? Not according to mine. You might be right, Alex, if you come with football knowledge here. No, he didn't. He did. Sorry, De Bruyne did score 2. You're right. So that means Craig, hi, thanks for giving Alex the facts there. Unless Alex, you did get it right yourself. Yes, Ken, sir, I just saw that. Yeah, Alex put me right. That De Bruyne did score 2, so it wasn't 7 individual scores. De Bruyne got 2, so I take that back.
Was about to tell me she got involved in the top 5 and predicted that 7-0. I thought she was correcting you on that. Then
no,
I was just about
to go. No one predicted 7-0 on the predictor. So it's one of those.
But then again, once again, De Bruyne, when he's fit, you know what you're going to get from him.
Yeah, so it's one of those things.
How many amazing goals you've seen him score?
That guy scores amazing goals. Right, chat. That is the end of our show today. We're back on Saturday, midday, to talk about the weekend fixtures. And then obviously, what I will say is if any of you guys have any discussion points that you would like to have on this chat show, put them on the Dizzy.
Over the Facebook, leave your comment in the YouTube. No matter where it is, all the socials that these get posted on, leave your comments. Peeps, I'm free. I love the banter tonight. It's been amazing.
It has. It's been absolute great discussions with the Tottenham bit.
I can't say thank you enough. But literally, anything you want to talk about, even if it's outside, as I said, Celtic. Tell us how they're doing. What's going on? Because obviously we're now well aware that Rangers and Celtic are back at the level again. So
Ken, I'll come to you in a second.
Nice to know that Celtic, how they're doing now that they've actually got competition again.
Right, Ken.
So,
I did see that because the season had ended officially for the F1. Alex did bring it to me, and I said I'd pick it up when the new season kicks off on F1. And obviously, but I would like, so Ken, if you're an F1 thing and like to do something with me on F1, happy to bring you onto this platform to do something with F1. I did see the race. I think Hamilton got screwed. It was a proper screw job on Hamilton. If you're going to ask my opinion on it, but it is, it is what it is now. You can't change shit. It is what's happened. I think Rick said something earlier on about VAR. That's it. It is what it is. You can't change it. You got to lump it and like it and move on with it. Even you're a Hamilton fan. So that's.
I called that one as well. I thought I told you it'd be a cocky decision that ended up winning one of them.
So
something fucked up.
Indeed.
I went to the extreme and said they'd run each other off the fucking track.
Yeah.
But still, it was something that isn't natural in the race that ended up costing and fucking it up. Like, Pagan put his finger on it. Like, it is just destroying all this technical stuff. It is destroying it. We used to just have banter for a week up until it was your next fixture, because that's what real football fans do. You are literally based on your previous result. And that's real talk. It's always been that way. When a referee got a bad decision, you didn't banter the club. You were like, shame, you got screwed over. And then come next week, it was forgotten about. But now it's sticking because there is meant to be something in place that makes it perfect, or as close to as we're led to believe. And really, it's destroying our sport, F1 and this, and that's a whole different conversation.
So again, thank you for everyone that's been on today. The support, the views have been amazing again today. I just want to say, look, if you get to go to the YouTube channel, just give it a like and subscribe. Doesn't cost anything, but I appreciate everyone coming on.
Nate, it's free.
Hit the like button on the YouTube channel. I appreciate it. I love it. Again, show on Saturday at 12 o'clock. We'll talk about those fixtures coming up. And again, any topic you want to bring in, message me on Dizzy, and I'll happily add that onto our schedule. Obviously, me and Rick will look at stuff, what's happening between now and Saturday in the news or football world or any sport. Sometimes we do change a bit of sport on Saturday. If there's something else that comes up, we will bring it up to discussion if it's worthy of a discussion point.
Last bit of Ramon came out today and said that Barcelona are already looking at a move for Aubameyang for January.
There we go.
That was the lot.
Alex, as there's nobody else, I'm looking who's live. Alex, are you still on? But if you're still on, I'll send the raid your way. Otherwise, I'll pick someone random that's showing live on one of who I'm following but don't really follow. But Alex, if you're still on, I will bring it on. Thank you, Kenster. Appreciate saying it's a good stream. We've had real good banter today with Pagan and the Tottenham thing. That was brilliant.
Sorry, who said what to you? While you're sat there with a massive grin, just literally enforcing it and spicing it up and making your own goddamn comments. Didn't see no one come at
you. So, brilliant. Okay, guys, thank you very much from me and Rick. Appreciate everyone coming on. Saturday's the next one. We'll do the predictor for the weekend games. I'll pick the 5 results, so keep an eye on the high 5 competition. Salty much. Well done, Pagan. And we'll go and raid Alex on here now. And I appreciate you all for joining in and showing so much support to this channel. I cannot believe how much support we get from you, because without the interaction with you guys, it kind of makes it a little bit pointless. So the fact that you guys have brought the interaction in,
it makes it more just a news show. If we don't have you amazing fans and the new follower, thank you for, I've forgotten your name, sorry. I know we had a new follower.
It was Rotten Blaze.
Rotten Blaze. Welcome.
So thank you guys.
We're just happy to be where we are right now, have the opportunity to talk about something we love, and happy that you guys are here along for the ride. That's all. Love for the love.
Okay, guys, go and show Miss Alex some love. Obviously part of GBC, she does a lot for us, so we're going to go and raid Miss Alex and show her that we can And thank you again, everybody. Really appreciate it.
In there for Clown.
Right, 1 second. I'm going to end my stream once the raid goes through.
Oh my god.
Right, let me turn off my stream. Rick, bear with me 2 seconds.
Yeah, no worries.
And then we can catch up.